Good morning, everyone. So, today we are going to do a quick exercise. So, the first thing I'm going to do is firstly give you a quick explanation on why do we learn about PERT and why do we learn about CPM. So, we learn about PERT and CPM as we are future managers. And as future managers, we need to be actually, aware of how to work on activities, on tasks in the workplace. So first of all, the first thing as a manager to know is how to manage your time. So how do you manage your time? So using tools. Using which tools? Using CPM and PERT. CPM and PERT are really good ways for a manager to ease actually his work and to actually just help him in scheduling activities to know when to start and also when to finish, when would we be finishing this specific task. So first of all, the question that we will start with is the first one. Using the data on your data, calculate how many times we have seen pessimistic values, which are values greater than 5, optimistic values, which are values less than 3, and most likely, which are all values in between optimistic and pessimistic. So first of all, the first thing that we will need to do is go to your data, this label here. We will make it bigger. Then we will need to make sure that we copy all this data in this table here. So first of all, we will need to make sure that we paste them in the correct box. So we will start with the pessimistic values. There we go. We'll just copy them and we paste them in the right box, which is the pessimistic one, the yellow one. Then we go for the most likely and we just copy them and we go to the most likely box and we make sure that we paste them in the right box, otherwise it will change all the results. Then lastly, we have the optimistic values, which we will paste in here. So now that we have all the correct data pasted here, we will calculate the weights. So we'll create a small table here to calculate the bins for values less than 3 and values greater than 5. So there we go. Now we go to data, this label here. Finally, we go to data analysis. We need to look for histogram, which is already selected here. There we go. Then for the input range, we will need to go for the pessimistic values, most likely values, and optimistic values. So we'll need to select from the first value of the pessimistic ones until the last value of the optimistic ones. So we will select from B4 to D27. So let's do that. And as you may see here, we have all the data selected here. Then we need to select our bins, which are here. Then it is done, and let's just go. Okay. We have our table here, and we will just need to make it nicer. Just adding the labels, for example. There we have the optimistic values. Okay, then for values, for the values greater than 5, we need to put there the most likely. And then here, we will put the pessimistic. So we will just make our table nicer. Just adding borders there. So there we go. Right now we have our weights, which will be helpful for the following question. So let's start right now to read the second question, which is using those values, apply them to your data that you copy from your data and paste the cells B4 to D27 to calculate the expected time for each step. Okay, so right now we will need to calculate this value, this one, the expected time. Okay, so for the expected time, we will need to calculate the optimistic value times the optimistic value plus the most likely value times the most likely value plus the pessimistic value times the pessimistic value. There we go. So then actually we will need to divide it by, we put it into brackets, and we need to divide it by the sum. Okay, so let's just write it by the sum of the weights. And there we go. Now we will try, and as you may see, we have all this that pops up. So we need to make few changes. So what we'll need to do is actually just adding a dollar sign here, a dollar sign here, and dollar sign here, a dollar sign here, and here. And now Let's see if it works. It does. Okay. Now you just need to fix it like this. Okay. Then we will need to calculate our variance. So how to calculate the variance? The formula says that you need to do the optimistic values minus the pessimistic values divided by the sum of weights, and we will need to square it. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we have the first here, so let's see. So it doesn't matter if you do the optimistic value minus the pessimistic value or the opposite. So let's opt for optimistic value minus pessimistic value. We just put them into bracket. And then, as I told you, we'll need to divide them by the sum of the weights, which are here. There we go. So here we have the variance. Okay, so the same problem pops up. So how do we fix it? We just need to put a dollar sign here and a dollar sign here. And then we will just erase these and do it all over again. And now it does work. Okay, so let's just make it bigger to see the values. Okay, so as we did not square them, now we will. Okay, so there it is.